Actually, the way you are all seated now, you can imagine that perhaps you're in a movie theater, where this is the projection screen. Sorry. The way we are all seated here, you can imagine perhaps that you are in a movie theater, and that you're looking at the projection screen, and that soon a movie will show. Now, for the last 100 years, what the theater has done is that they show you trailers right now before the main movie. And the trailer advertises another movie. But the point is, for the last 100 years, if a trailer works on you to persuade you to see that trailer movie, you are at your most persuaded when the trailer has just finished. But at the moment of maximum persuasion, you cannot buy a ticket to that trailer movie. You cannot close the loop. You cannot satisfy the impulse buy. What I have is a patent that addresses this situation here. And so you imagine here that the patron, that's you, and you'll be sitting down, but just pretend. You've got a cell phone, and that's on the right-hand side, that's the projection screen. And it's showing trailers, and it will soon show the movie that you paid to enter this room for. But on the side wall, here depicted on the left-hand side, there's a second screen. The second screen could be an electronic screen or maybe a projection screen. And what is it? Well, the second screen has two parts to it. At the top, we have this funny-looking black and white barcode. And what that does is that if you, in the darkness, if you take out your cell phone, you scan the barcode, you get back a web page on your cell phone, which is where you can directly buy an electronic ticket to a future screening of the trailers that are shown in this room before the movie. And so that by itself gives the impulse buy as such. Well, you can buy more than one ticket if you wish to a future screening. And you don't have, each ticket is for one use only, and you don't have to know exactly where you'll be on a given date. It's like some amusement parks. You can buy it for future use over some time period. But there's more to it than that. The screen also shows a table. The table is a list of the trailers that are being shown in this room. And okay, so you imagine those. And if you look on next to the each name of the trailer, there's a counter. Like for example, next to Hunger Games, there's a counter that's right now 15. Initially it starts at 0. And when you buy a ticket, that counter goes to 1. You buy a ticket, it goes to 2, and so on. And so it goes to, say, 15. And what's the point of that? Next to that is a number that's, let's say it's fixed. It's 20. That's a threshold. What that means is that if the number of tickets reaches the threshold, then the price per ticket falls for everybody who has bought. It's a volume discount, as it were. This approach, the purpose of this table is for the guy sitting in the darkness who hasn't bought yet. He hasn't bought any of those. But he sees that perhaps, he looks at Hunger Games, and he sees that 15 tickets been bought. And he thinks to himself, if I buy a ticket for myself, okay, I pay $10 for that. And so I buy the 16th ticket. But if enough people like me do this, then the price per ticket will fall if 20 tickets have been bought, and it will fall to something below 10. And the last column is the price, and that can just oscillate between the current price and the next lower price, if you achieve it. So this is, in a way, it's Groupon, but flipped exactly inside out. In Groupon, everybody, like in Los Angeles, you at home, you go to the Groupon website, and then you go to a retailer, and you bid on an item, and presumably you get a volume discount. Here, the retailer is the theater, and you, the potential customers, are inside the retailer. But this entire approach here, you can think of it with a table as a force multiplier in the military jargon, or as a behavioral feedback loop, or as gamification. It's to incentivize everybody to get in on it. But this collectively gives the theatre an extra revenue source. It's to satisfy the impulse buy, which hitherto there's no such ability. But the theatre gets a second revenue source that could be just as significant. The trailers typically are made by the studio. When the studio finishes the live filming, it cuts trailers, sends them to the theatres, and then spends the next 3 to 6 months doing post-production. In this case here, what happens is that the theatre can sell the sales data to the studios. For example, if you look at Hunger Games spanned 3 genres: action, romance, sci-fi. if the studio made a romance and an action trailers, 2 trailers for the same movie, it shipped those out to the theaters. If the theaters were to find that, say, the romance trailer was selling more tickets than the action trailer, the first thing that would happen would be that the theaters would just show more of the romance trailer. Because this is all about the money, and it's only about the money. If the romance trailer sells more tickets, the theater, that's all you got to show. But what's going to happen next?
1 minute.
When the studios find out this, then that tells the studios what to put into the TV commercials. In the publicity for a movie, the largest single line item typically are the cost of the TV commercials in the last month before release and the first month after. So the TV commercials will be the romance trailer, as effectively. And so this gives hopefully a new spin and a new way for the theaters to help justify their existence, especially against the main competition, which is people watching movies at home. Thank you.